My name is Himanshu. I have been full stack engineer at Headout. In past, I have been a GSOC developer where I develop projects, open source library, which is currently has more than 5K monthly installs. And currently, I'm in the role of generalist where I dabble with product, front end engineering, back end engineering, like, and everything in between. So at my past company, we face sort of like one problem, and we'll go into that, and I will check like what solution I've created for that. So yeah, so so one of the rules that you learn when you go in any company is you should not deploy on Friday, because then it will be headache for you to fix that bug during midnight or on Saturday or Sundays, and you will be wasting a lot of your time. So one does not simply deploy on Friday is a common norm in any startup or any big company. And let's look why that is the case in general. And the basic idea is we don't have enough testing. And if we look into it, that is because developers generally don't know how to test, or they have never tried it. And on top of it, it's very hard thing to do. I would say it's comparatively harder than development, just because of like different pieces that are there, and it's also boring and frustrating. So these are the four sort of like main segments that you need to sort out to have a proper testing. First, choosing library, it can be Playwright, Puppeteer, Cypress, Selenium. Then choosing a test, it can be GitHub, CI, browser stack, Lambda test, and then building your own framework on top of it. Then sort of like customizing your workflow to work with GitHub PR, having alerts on Slack, and then in the end maintaining broken tests. So we are changing the whole concept. The earlier process would generally take at least a couple of weeks, and now we are changing it so you can test your website in few minutes. So yeah, let's try and create a test. So what we'll do is we'll first create a basic test for React.js documentation website, and then we'll create a test for my website, my personal website, and then we'll try to break one functionality. So it's super simple to create a test. Just go in your terminal, write this, and a recorder will open. So yeah, in the end, enter the URL you want to test. So one good thing about Crusher is we are trying to make testing as simple as browsing. So anyone who knows how to browse a website could create a test. So let's go to React.js. I hope the URL is correct. Okay. And what we'll try to do is we'll first verify one SEO title. So we'll add a check for that. So it should match this. So you can compare it with a string or add your own regex. In the end, you can do those kind of things. And then we'll verify this thing. So we'll add some sample input, sample, yeah. And let's verify a screenshot in the end to make sure this text is coming. And done. You will be done when you perform this step, and you can just run verify and save, and we'll verify it once to make sure everything is working correctly. So yeah, that's it. We have created our first test within, I would say, like less than in 2 minutes. And if you need to run it, you can run it with this. Ideally, a test would be completed in less than, let's say, 20 or 30 seconds of this size. I hope there's no AWS downtime right now. Cool. Meanwhile, what we'll do is we'll also create one test for my personal website, and I have created a tunnel for it in with Cloudflare tunnel. So it is publicly accessible with this. Check. Okay, expression say like test script. Yeah. So we'll create a test and check a very basic functionality. So I had implemented dark theme support, dark and light theme support in my personal website. So we'll add a check for that. So let's wait for a few seconds just for this tagline to get completed. And then we'll toggle it to light mode and then click the screenshot of the header. Okay. Also, you can add custom code and different checks for complex use cases. So I think that build would have got passed. So yeah, we can see the build here where you can also check the recording of the actions that we have performed, and if it fails at any step, which we are going to see uh, in few minutes. So yeah, like this. And now what we'll do is we will go ahead and try to break this functionality. So you can check that this functionality is working fine. What we'll do is we'll comment out this event handler, which basically uses React context. So I think this would not work now. And in the end, what we'll do is we will run the same test run again. Let's see what happens. So, okay, weird. Looks like this did not get updated somehow. Just try to save this. And probably run this again. Yeah. So meanwhile, I'll show you the past report of what generally happens in this case. Probably it might be getting cached at the Cloudflare level. So that's why we might be seeing this thing. So ideally, in this case, we will be seeing diffs of this kind, indicating that our UI has changed, or let's say any step fails before this thing, we'll also notify you about that. And then you can sort of like watch the recording to figure out like what really happened, compare it with previous builds, and things of those sort. So yeah, so that's how easy it is to create a test with Crusher and run it or integrate it with your project. So, uh, a little bit overview about features. We are low-code alternative to Cypress Playwright uh, or Selenium. We support multi-browser. We support Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. You can integrate it in your project in less than 5 minutes. If we are at like very early stage, but we will be as complex or advanced as Playwright, Puppeteer, or any other framework. We, at our core, our main focus is on the UI testing, because all the front end things are about like how it looks uh, to your users, and it integrates with GitHub, and Slack, which you can sort of like uh, enable it with few clicks. So yeah, and we are also open source. So if anyone wants to check out the repo, they can go to crusher.dev/crusher. Make sure to star us. Yeah. So that's it. So if anyone is looking to supercharge their testing with Crusher, do reach out to me or request an invite at https crusher.dev. Yeah. So folks, that's it from my side.